Hi, everybody. It's Paul K. Ward. I'm back again with Oregon Music News. I'm grateful to Tom D'Antoni for continuing to encourage me to do video podcasts, and I'll have some other podcasts coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I am thrilled to be doing a series of interviews with some of the women who are going to be featured and have been featured in the Women in Jazz series at the 1905, a Downbeat award-winning club here in Portland, Oregon, that takes its commitment to the community very seriously. And one of the ways they do that is by showcasing special local talent. This week, the theme is Women in Jazz, and we are blessed to have so many incredibly talented female jazz performers and composers. And today we're with Cheryl Alex, who is one of them. She is if you're a classical musician, she'll be a flautist, but she plays flute, alto flute, and concert C flute, and is a well-known side person, and also has an album of her own and leads her own groups. She's part of a show at the 1905 this week on the 9th of March. Two shows, one at 5:30, one at 7:30. And I'm here to talk with her about it and see how she's doing. How are you doing, Cheryl Alex?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me. Happy to do this.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
pretty cool that they're doing this. So I'll be with Ed Bennett. Ed Bennett is a wonderful bass player, and his quintet that plays there, I think it's they play there once a month on Sundays. Is it the third Sunday? Anyway, they play one Sunday a month. I should know that.
I'll find out and put it in the doobly-doo
yes,
with the video.
Definitely. So his quintet, and he's which consists of Ed Bennett on the bass, Steve Christopherson on the piano,
Wonderful.
Paul Mazzio on the trumpet and flugelhorn, Tim Wilcox on tenor sax, and Tim Rapp on the drums. And so he asked me to play flute and I'm going to play all his compositions are great. Love his compositions. So it's going to be really fun.
I've heard some of Ed's compositions. They are great, and he's a wonderful bass player and band leader. He's got chops and legacy, and he's very generous.
He's
musician.
such a sweet man. Yes, he's so gifted. Yeah,
truly amazing.
Sure.
And just because I'm a working musician here in town, I want to say I just had a gig with Tim Rapp and Paul Mazzio. Anandi does a Nancy Wilson tribute, and
right.
Very lucky to be with those guys on that gig. Tim is a beautiful drummer.
Isn't he?
Great ears, and Paul Mazzio. I mean, you need a trumpet player. He's like one of the first calls. And
great.
So fun.
And they're all so nice. I love them.
Well, I got to say, you are too. And one of the things I love about the Portland music scene, which I've only been part of really for 8 years, is that everyone is so talented and so nice at the same time. There's no attitude going on here. It's wonderful.
Portland's really great community.
It really is great.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you and I talked about right before we got on the air was your compositions, and you have an album too. I don't know when it came out. Take My Time.
Oh, it's so old.
It was like how many years old?
Oh my God! It's time I have to get back in the studio. That is going to happen. So, and I need to compose some new things, which I've been thinking about doing, and I'm getting really inspired playing Ed's compositions and hearing other people in the community. Carrie Pulitzer's writing some wonderful things. Everybody. I mean, we just have so many people, gifted musicians. So it's time, and it's been a long time since I've recorded. It's embarrassing, but it was recorded in 1990 or something, and it came out in early 2000s. I can't remember, but
okay.
So it's and I've been on other people's, albums and CDs, but that was my debut. Is the only one I've done, and so it's time.
It's time.
I have to get to work, and I'm not getting any younger.
Well, the great thing about jazz as a genre is that the older players are the ones you actually want to listen to because they've been around the block and they've played with a lot of people. So we accumulate.
Right.
Stuff, and it delivers more. It's like wine, frankly.
It's true. It's true.
Exactly.
There's so many great young musicians. I mean, I'll go out and hear and I'm like, I'm blown away. Like, there's so much talent. I think Portland is pretty exciting. really.
Well, and the 1905 is doing a good job lately of
Yeah.
promoting the younger and up and coming artists. Many of whom I think have gone from being up and coming to being well established and having good audiences for themselves. A couple of the young ones that I love are Noah Simpson on trumpet, Charlie Brown III on piano, Sam Epstein on saxophone. I mean, I could go on and on. There's
I know.
such talent.
I know. I know. I can't believe it.
And they're also nice. These young kids are nice too.
It's intimidating,
Oh,
but
well,
it's inspiring. It's great.
Totally.
Yeah.
So on the first album, you did Take My Time. Is it still available? Can you get it on the streaming services?
You can. I need to get my. I need to get it streaming. So I have work to do.
I'll help you with that.
I have a lot of work to do, so it's time. This is my year to do this. But
sounds good.
Yeah, you can go on my website, and then I can I have a link to it, and then I will get notified, and I can send it the CD. But I need to get it up on streaming. That's got to happen soon. So I will do that. Yep.
We will talk about that.
Okay.
Your website is CherylAlex.com. Exactly.
Yeah.
And on that album, did you compose most of those songs?
I did. I some of them, maybe half, almost half.
Right.
And I have a good friend, Lois Poole, who did the lyrics on some of those tunes.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm not a lyricist. I'm not. That's just not my thing. But I do like writing music. So, and then there's one tune I will be doing on Sunday night at the 1905 called Patrick's Song. My son is Patrick, and we'll be doing that. That's just an instrumental, so we'll do that. I think probably both sets. Yeah.
Well, this gives me a chance to sort of segue into thanking the Portland Jazz Composers Ensemble for their role in this week. In our discussions with them, we agreed that this is an amazing week the 1905 is putting together. It needs to be preserved. It will be streamed, so everyone should buy a ticket and see Cheryl's shows with Ed Bennett leading the band.
Great.
But if you can't make it on that day, tune in on the stream. There will be PayPal and Venmo information. Tip them and support this fantastic music. Support the spirit of Portland Jazz Composers Ensemble, which is really about creating a big network of both composers and performers, usually in large format. Not just a song for a singer, right?
They're doing
amazing things. So they are contributing economically and spiritually to the music in our town.
Absolutely. And they're doing the composers' youth.
You said you were a mentor for one of the...
I'm on a mentor list, yeah.
That's great.
So I'm doing a mentoring a person, young person coming up. So it's great how they're doing that and helping the community and helping young people and helping artists, of all ages. It's great.
That's great. So in preparing for this, well, I know that you're an excellent reader, so it makes you in demand side person or even leader. But how have you found these songs from Ed to be? How playable are they? Are they fun? Are they interesting and diverse? Tell me about them.
I love them. I really love them. We just had a rehearsal. It was my first time to play with this group. We had a rehearsal yesterday, and I just love it. I mean, I just love to read. I love reading. So his tunes are really interesting. He's got a great harmonic sense. He understands. He has a great ear, great intuition. He understands all about what he's doing, and I think the tunes they're challenging, but they're really fun. I really love them. I can't wait. I love to play them. So. It's exciting for me, and it's nice. I like being a side person, and I like doing my own thing too, but I really do like being a side person a lot.
Well, when you're working with other horn players like tenor sax and trumpet, the textures you can get out of that are wonderful.
I know.
I haven't heard Ed's compositions. I'm really excited to hear them.
Oh, good. Are you going to come?
I'm going to try to. I have several things going on. It's an incredibly busy time for me.
I know you're really busy. Jeez.
I know I got 3 gigs this week, and
Good.
they all involve prep.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll mention them briefly.
Do it. I want to know.
Thursday, I'm doing a sing-along at La Coupe. This is the 3rd time we've done it. I sort of co-anchor this with Shelley Rudolph, who she just doesn't dominate things. She just sort of slips in and sings a couple of tunes, and people go crazy because she's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something a little different than a typical vocal jam. Obviously, the adult singers who like to visit the vocal jams are welcome, and they do come, and they do great. But I'm also inviting those singers that I work with a lot who believe, like I do, that community building and music making will go hand in hand. It's not about being a snob or anything. So I've had Donna Jones there. I had Arietta Ward show up. Anandi's going to show up this time. I love working with Anandi, and she definitely gets the community building spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's possible I can get Brigitte Teuscher to show up. She has to teach until 9, but we go till 9:30, so we'll see.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And then there are a couple other singers that are coming out of sort of semi-retirement who will be there at this one and the next one. And some students of Cheryl Alex, who runs the Portland State University Jazz Vocal Program.
She's also doing the Women in Jazz. I think her show is tonight.
I'm going to be there. I'm a huge supporter and fan.
Nice. Yeah, she's great.
So that's Thursday, but tomorrow, and then Friday, I'm at Alberta Street Pub with Donna Jones, and then Saturday, I'm with Brigitte Teuscher at Jack London doing a Amy Winehouse.
Oh, fun.
It'll be a lot of fun, but this is not about me. It's not about me.
No, it's great. I love hearing about it. I love it.
So I wanted to ask you, with your experience seeing shows at the 1905, getting to know the musicians or knowing the musicians who perform there, what level of importance do you put on the 1905's programming for the jazz community and the jazz scene here? Tell me about your feelings about that.
Oh man, I think if we didn't have that club, that'd be really sad for Portland. I think every time I've gone there, I've never been disappointed. So I've always had a really good experience. They do a really good job, portraying showcasing the music, and they have really good people. And I'm really glad they were able to reopen after some things time there during COVID, and then the turnover of the management and the ownership. But I know, Holly's been there and had been part owner. She's great. I mean, I don't know Holly very well, but I know she's done a great job. So I think they've done a really, really fine job of showcasing musicians, and it's very professional, but at the same time, it's a small club, and it's intimate, but you feel like probably the closest thing to New York, or right? A big city. It's they've done a great job. Yeah. So I'm really happy to play there. Can't wait. I did want to say too, I play piano also, and that's where when I compose. And I teach piano, and I've been working on my jazz chops for years. It is so challenging. It's really challenging because there's so many ways, so many possibilities with jazz. The way you can play voice, the way you hear harmony, and you have to think about it right off, in the moment. So it's something I'll always be working on, and I'll never feel like I'm after hearing people like Randy Porter and just a lot of people in this town, George Mitchell, Greg Goebel, Terry Pulitzer, George Colligan. I mean, there's so many, there's so many wonderful pianists that I love it though. I love sitting at the piano and practicing, and taken some lessons recently from Carrie Pulitzer. I love her playing, and I took from Randy for a while, Randy Porter and Dan Gaynor.
Dan's a wonderful player.
I know. Oh God, he's on his way to being a doctor. It's great. So anyway, So, and I also teach voice and I sing. So I'll be singing a couple of tunes Sunday night too. Yeah.
Good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I love that. Well, the nice thing about all that is that all that's adds to your employability, right? You can handle a number of different angles when it comes to performing, which is nice.
Yeah.
Singing, piano playing, and playing flute.
Yeah. Flute's my main instrument. That's the one I'm most comfortable with. So I have a dog here that wants to go outside. He can wait though. Okay. Diesel. No, it's okay.
Okay.
That's what that whining is. He wants to go outside. But it's okay.
I don't hear it. There must be the whining.
Oh, good.
Filter,
Good.
whining
He just went
filter
outside. So he's just being neurotic. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that is notable to me about this Women in Jazz thing is that during this time when some of the political attention is going away from inclusion as a theme, I just want to reinforce from my perspective, and I want to get your opinion, that for as long as jazz has been around, it has tended to be dominated by men. And yet I see that the numbers are getting better in terms of the proportion of women getting involved.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a sense from you of how does that feel when you're experiencing a jazz scene and you know that there are some women who are contributing in mighty ways. How does that make you feel? How do you respond to that? Are you happy with that? I know these are sort of obvious kinds of questions, but I want to get it from your perspective.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I agree. I think there are more women. I think it's definitely we've come a long ways from when I started studying jazz as a young woman. There was hardly any women instrumentalists, and then a lot of singers, great singers, and like Ella was like an instrumentalist, right? Ella Fitzgerald, with her improvising in her ear, and there was a lot of great people, singers that were just wonderful, and like their voices were like instruments, and they're great instrumentalists. Like, well, we have one here in our city that I think is very special, is Nancy King, which I think she's influenced a lot of people. She's definitely influenced me, and uses her voice like an instrument and hears everything. She has incredible ears, and but I think it's gotten a lot better. I see more women in contributing in different ways than just singing, and singing's hard. To be a good singer that's a big deal. But it's nice to see women on the bandstand, regardless, and doing a great job with whatever instrument they're playing. And I see it a lot more than I did. But yeah, the current world affairs, and that's why I'm so glad we have the music. With with everything happening right now, we have to stay in the music and support one another as human beings, and do the right thing and love one another. And we have all that. And I feel like Portland, I'm so glad I live in Portland because we have that kind of community, right?
We do.
Yep. And that spirit.
During COVID, when I was at Saramon House, I did a lot of big show production outside with Billy Edson, who is
singer. No, I play with her. Yeah, I love her.
And she and I did, among the things that we did a show under a big tent, lots of fresh air, that included all kinds of folks. George Mitchell was there with Shelley Rudolph and Tim Gilson, and Dan Gaynor was there with the Mel Brown. Not Dan Gaynor, Dan Ballmer was there.
Right.
Dan Ballmer's going to kill me.
Yeah, I love Dan Ballmer. Yeah, it's great.
And Louis Payne and Renato and so on. And we had some other folks too who were just fantastic. Beforehand, we did interviews with the musicians just to keep their faces and names and stories percolating to the top while no one was going out. Mel Brown said in his interview that he'd been through COVID, or was going through COVID, and he'd been through the civil rights thing, and when gigs were difficult or impossible to get to, and it was a stressful time. And he said that one of the things that he tells everybody is, one of the best things you can do when you're feeling stressed from your day is to practice. He said, before you know it, all of your stresses have gone away. And I think there is a lot of Buddha in that.
There is.
Staying focused.
There is.
Allowing a connection between your body and what the music is asking you to do.
Yeah, I know.
Declutters. And I think that also works for the audience. So everybody should come out.
I agree.
May the 9th. See you guys.
Yeah.
Declutter
March 9th. March
I'm
9th,
way ahead of myself.
no, it's okay. Which is Sunday. There's two shows, 5:30 and 7:30. There's still tickets. I hope to fill them up. You know,
we have a few days, and I do know that they have tended to be selling out. So if I'm not trying to say this because I'm trying to generate a fear of missing out, but you might miss out if you don't get your ticket.
And you want to hear Ed's group. It's really great. It's fun.
You guys are all stars.
It's going to be really great.
It's going to be wonderful. Glad that you're singing something and that you'll be playing the song for your son, which would be great.
Yeah, one of my compositions. But yeah, they're all his. It's really going to be fun. So
that's great. Well, I thank you for giving us some time in the middle of your day. I know that you're busy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we got this
Paul.
in. Oh, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
I'll try to get this up to Tom so that he can do with it what he needs to do at Oregon Music News, maybe by tomorrow morning. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of coverage out there so people can listen to this and get inspired to get tickets.
Wonderful. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Paul.
Well, have a great day. And
you too.
Everybody stay tuned. We'll be doing some more of these, and I look forward to seeing everyone here again. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.